Hey y'all, I decided I just had to make a video to show you a little bit more about BrainPop because I love it so much and it has so much to offer. So let's see if I can be quick with running down about what exactly is BrainPop. So I'm on my BrainPop home screen. I'm signed in. If I go up to the top to this little robot guy, his name is Moby. He's kind of the star of all of the videos. Kids love him. You can see that there's lots of different options for BrainPop. There is a BrainPop Junior that is great for younger students. I teach fourth grade, and by the time they hit me, they really like just the normal BrainPop. It's geared for older kiddos, even high schoolers. There's also French and Spanish options and an educator's site as well. So just checking out BrainPop, you can see up here there's a couple of different options. There's the dashboard, so that's for myself with if I want to make an assignment, and you can see I have different classes and I can make assignments. We'll go over that more later. There's a quiz mixer, so that's more on the quizzes. And BrainPop 101, it shares more about what BrainPop is. So if I go back to that main screen, you can see there's a search bar up here too. So let's say that I was hitting on something specific. Let's say that in science we were talking about heat. I could type in heat and I can see what kind of options we have for videos or games. So going down here, there's a ton of subjects that BrainPop offers videos and online activities for. So probably the ones I use the most are I use a lot of the science and sometimes English too for just those concepts that kids need a little bit more review on. Something that a lot of people don't really think of when they think of BrainPop is the engineering and tech. Just want to show you this really quickly. It has a lot of different options for engineering and technology, and one that I think is great is digital citizenship. Their digital citizenship unit is huge. It has a ton of different topics that you can teach your students in being good digital citizens. So check that out. Going back, like I said, there's a ton of different subjects. So I use it a lot for science, but let's just check it out for math, see what they got. So they'll show you all of these units that they have, quite a few units. Let's say that my kids and I were talking about probability. So if I were to click on probability, there's a couple different videos with it. Ooh, mean, median, mode, and range. Those are awesome topics for my fourth graders. I would love to have them watch this video to review. I could assign a quiz. I can align it with standards up here. I can make a lesson plan. I can create my own quiz, but they have quizzes already created. Or kids can check out the other options. Now, the online activities are not always going to be the same for every video. They're not always going to present games. There might not always be vocabulary, but kids can always watch a video, take a quiz, and there will be a couple of other options. So let's take a look at make a map. Create new, let's do that. So this is where students would actually make kind of a mind mapping activity so they can get their thoughts out and show what they know. There's related reading. So a couple different related readings that if you wanted kids to read up more about it. I think they always give a comic too, which kids like. And of course, a big one is probably the games. So there'll always be a different type of game. Sortify is on a couple of them, and that's where they have to actually sort numbers in certain categories, so that's a good one. Something else about BrainPop that I think a lot of people don't realize is it has a ton of coding options, which if your school does coding, this is a great supplement for whatever your coding curriculum is. And it can really take kids a long time to complete some of these projects that BrainPop offers. They can make stories, games, they can make comics themselves or a newscast, and doing any of these requires them to do some coding. So that's pretty cool. Going back to my home screen. If we wanted to check out a science, like I said, I use it mainly for science. How about energy? And say if we were talking about color. I watch a lot of the movies with my kids. Sometimes I'll assign it so they watch it on their iPads. And I make sure that they all have their own student code, okay, where they can access and have their own account. Let's take a look at the movie. So they'll be between 2 to sometimes 7 minutes. They're not super long. They're great to plug in and either introduce a concept, something new, or maybe review what you talked about before.
Dear Tim and Moby, I need to know all about color. From Nadia.
So the characters Tim and Moby. Moby is our robot. Tim is his human friend, and they always start off by getting a question of some sort from a student, and they try to help out the student by answering the question. So that even makes it more relatable for students, I think, too. So that gives you a little screenshot of what BrainPop is all about. A ton of videos, a ton of content about all of these different subjects, and it can be related to students in kindergarten all the way to seniors in high school. So give it a try, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.